past videos, you know that we sold our house and we were living in our RV full-time, and that we were headed to South Dakota for a travel nursing assignment. So this is the story of us traveling across the country. So on May 11th, we had everything packed up and we headed out. We had no clue where we were staying that first night. Kim called a harvest host, so we ended up at Bellaterra Vineyards. It was a nice open field. They had country line dancing and food. It was a perfect setup for us. The next morning we got on the road and headed for Ohio. We got really lucky and got a reservation at Hocking Hills State Park, which is a very desirable location in Ohio. If you've never been, it's incredible. It's nothing like you would think Ohio is. It's full of mountains and waterfalls, and the hiking around there is fantastic. We did some great trails around that area. We did Old Man's Cave and both falls trails they have. It does get a little slippery and it can be a little dangerous because there's some cliff edges, so just be careful if you do hike in that area. Like we had said before, this trip was very spontaneous and we had no plans heading out towards the west coast. We got really lucky and got 3 nights at Hocking Hills State Park, which I talked to a lady who told us that she made reservations 6 months before that to get just the weekend that we were there. So we got really lucky. We of course headed over to a winery in the area, and then as you can see we made some plans on the back of a menu for the rest of our trip. Again, this was super spontaneous and we had no clue where we were going. So we made our plans and we continued on to Colorado. After 3 nice nights in Ohio, we were able to come up with a tentative plan for the rest of our trip. We headed on to our next state, which was Illinois. We stopped at the Fairmont Illinois at Sleepy Creek Vineyards. It was a really nice open field, farmlands. It was beautiful. We got to try some wines. We made some friends with a friendly cat who wanted to have some snacks with us, and just enjoyed the views. It was a really nice night. On our way to our harvest host yesterday, somebody stopped me, told me my right bulb was out. So it was. I guess it was all those bumpy roads in Indianapolis. It was Route 74, I think it was. It was awfully bumpy, and I think it just rattled something. And bulb was bad. So while Kim was in grocery shopping, we went to got some bulbs. I'll fix that up and we're gonna get back on the road. Not the most scenic of harvest hosts. We are at a sprint car museum in Knoxville, Iowa. So we're pretty much on a street. Got a little grass for the dogs to walk around. But best of all, it's got free electric hookup. So we couldn't beat it. So we checked out. We got here about 5 o'clock. They closed at 6. So we quick got set up. Went and checked out the museum for about a half hour. It was $5 a person, so we gave them a little bit extra money just as a donation for letting us stay here, giving us free electric. A little bit of a noisy street, but I think it'll calm down. We got some storms coming in, but the sky's starting to look pretty nice. I don't know if you can see it, probably not. But we're just gonna relax. We have a long drive tomorrow, about 6-7 hours. We're headed to another Harvest Host brewery, and then we're gonna finally make it to Colorado. After a long travel day, well, I guess long for us, we don't like to really go more than 6 hours. Today was probably like 6.5, close to 7 hours. After stopping a couple times, letting the dogs out, getting gas. It was probably actually a little over 7 hours. We left at probably like 8 o'clock this morning from our last harvest host, and we made it today to Pal's Brewing Company. It's in North Platte, Nebraska. Nebraska is a beautiful state. I've never been to Nebraska. I've never been anywhere out west, so this is all new to me. But I expected it to be a lot more flat and boring. There was a lot of contour in the lands. There was kind of mountains surrounding us. The road, Route 80, I-80, went all the way down the Platte River. So we just got to see the river the whole time and just saw farm fields and just a lot of beautiful scenery around here in Nebraska. It was actually a pleasant drive, except for a couple areas that got a little bumpy on the roads, but there was some construction. But other than that, it was beautiful. It was a really nice ride. So this area is pretty wide open, not far from the interstate, and then we have some behind us. We have some nice views of the mountains and farm fields. Had to bust out the generator. It was probably 87 degrees when we got here. The camper was probably 85 when we got here into it. Popped the generator on, cooled it down. There's actually a lot of other Harvest Host members here. There's probably, it's hard to see. Sorry, the sun's bad. There's probably about 6 other people here. This field's huge. They could probably accommodate a lot of people. Today's trivia night. It's something to do with the nature of Nebraska, so we're not going to be participating in that because we're already terrible at trivia and we know nothing about Nebraska. So we're going to go check out the brewery and enjoy a couple beers. Next morning we left Nebraska and we headed for Colorado. This is a state that Kim and I have always dreamed about going to, and boy, it did not disappoint. As soon as we entered Colorado, you could see the mountains in the distance, and no wonder they call it the colorful state, because it is incredible. Join us for our next video, where we spend almost a week and a half exploring Colorado, and then we head for Moab, Utah. Oh yeah, and we got some crazy weather while we were here in Colorado. We almost got a foot of snow and ended it with a forest fire not far from our campground. So yeah, check back for our next video. When it gets posted, I will link it above. Leave us a comment if you have any questions about our trip so far. We appreciate you watching. Thanks, see you again. Bye.